Hey, one of the best ways to learn how to make things is to remake things. So I decided to remake something that's a little outside of what I'm used to making and what I'm comfortable making, basically to broaden myself and to really push myself. Plus, I'd really like to make this genre and be able to make this genre. The song that I remade is Nagareyuku Kisetsu by Haruka Nakamura. It's from a short anime movie called Look Back, based on the one-shot manga by Tatsuki Fujimoto. This one was definitely a challenge for me. A lot of it is stuff that I've done before, but a lot of it is also stuff that I haven't done before and that I needed to really put in the effort to figure out and to get right. The movie was so good. I've been like super inspired by it, and the soundtrack especially is just unbelievable. So I really wanted to like learn from it. So that's pretty much what I've done here and what I'm going to show you. I started by doing a like full in-depth like focused listening of the whole thing. I took some notes and kind of figured out a good starting place. Once I had a good grasp on things, I started with the intro bit, which I then reversed and started writing piano over that. Because the intro is basically like an ending section, but in reverse. So it sounds like a really good intro, which is really cool. So once I got through that intro, I went to the next section and did a bunch of piano. I played in some stuff and I also drew in the MIDI notes as well. Eventually, I just kind of started drawing in like crazy. I think I kind of had like an Adderall moment there, but um, I used a nice like felt piano for the piano in this song. It has a nice quality to it that I really like, and I think fits really well here in the context of the song. After I got a bunch of the piano down, I moved on to some strings. I went through and got all of the higher parts, like with the violin. And then I moved on to the other parts of the strings, like the cellos and the violas and the bass. And I also put in some harmonies and things. So altogether, so far, things are sounding like this. After adding the strings, I moved on to making a pad. And that kind of just sits in the back throughout the song. After that, I went to the end of the song and I added some bass. The bass in this song is actually like pretty prominent and it has a bit of an impact at the start of the last section. So I added a little bit of punch to the beginning of the bass, especially in those first two notes. So when it comes in, it's just like a. Once I had the bass down, I moved on to making some sound effects and filling space and getting those like little ear candy bits. So a lot of what I did was reversing things and like making really high pitched like reverse piano pieces and like reverbed out things, and I added like some white noise, or pink noise, I guess. One thing that I really liked that I did was I added a basically like a pink noise, like a follower thing on a send. So I had some of those like reverse piano parts sending to this pink noise thing. So it would kind of catch the rhythm of those reverse pianos. And it sounded really cool and had a lot of nice atmosphere. That was pretty much everything. There's a good bit of like little details that I didn't go over, but here's the whole track. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. It was definitely a challenge. I worked really hard on it. I spent a lot of time trying to get it right. There was definitely a lot of times that were very tedious, like basically tracing all of the MIDI uh, for the piano. I really learned to how to make like faster sections of with strings. I usually tend to make very like slow and like held out long pieces for strings, but this one really had a lot of like variation and little things, and it has a really interesting orchestral composition, and I really learned a lot from that. So that was really cool. The one thing I'm probably not the happiest with is how my strings turned out. Just because, like I said, I was learning how to make the faster parts like that, and the composition was pretty complicated, I'd say. So it was a lot of learning, but I think it turned out fairly well. Remaking stuff is super helpful for learning, so I highly recommend it. All in all, I learned a lot and it turned out super pretty. So I'm happy with it. But that's it for this week. See ya.